Partners. Seraphin's back. She wants to interview me again. She's woke me up. Even though it's only 5 minutes ago. And she wants to do part 2. Seraphin, you go. Ask me whatever you want, Seraphin, about racing. Let's do part 2.
Hey, punters. All right, Nate, let's dive right in. What's the most crucial element in your form analysis that you think sets you apart from others?
We went through this last time. Don't fucking repeat. It's not fucking. This isn't an episode of fucking Groundhog Day, Seraphin.
Got it, Nate. Let's explore something different. How do you handle the pressure when the stakes are high in big races?
Interesting question, Seraphin. Let's go dive right in. There's a couple of episodes of Natho's bedtime stories that relate to this subject. One, when I robbed Mark Reed. Two, when I took under grand of a bloke that lived in the country South A and SA. And Seraphin, numerous other ones. Like, how do I handle it? Okay, what I say to punters and what I say consistently is, when I was 30, I was running syndicates that would turn over $1 million, $3 million, $4 million a night, and I was getting a com from bookmakers on the turnover, 0.5% Australian racing, 1.5 to 2 on US racing, you know. Look, at the end of the day, how do I handle pressure? Betting for 300, 500, 1,000 people, or tipping to that many people is nowhere near the same pressure of waking up every day winning or losing $1 million or $2 million. We got used to it daily when we were 30. So 51, there's no pressure.
That's incredible, Nate. It's clear you've built a high tolerance for pressure over the years. How do you maintain focus and keep a clear mind?
Can I just cut in and make an analogy? It's sort of like, you know, a guy that scored 8,500 test runs, and he's averaged 53 his whole career. He's in the upper echelon of test batsman records, right? And he scored 38 test centuries and 45 test 50s. His conversion rate of hundreds to 50s is phenomenal. He goes through a lean trot for half a season, has a bad draw at Pakistan, and makes 2 ducks and gets run out for 7 and gets, I don't know, something happens in the 4th innings and he makes 5 and he averages 3 on the tour or whatever, you know what I mean? He comes back home for the summer. And he's playing the first Shield game, he makes 150 in the first innings and 85 not out in the second innings. And the pressure's still doubting him. You know he's fine for the first fucking test. I had a bad week last week, right? That's not pressure. That's a fucking road, that's a, what are they? A road bump. A fucking speed bump. That's all that is, Seraphin.
That makes perfect sense, Nate. It's all about perspective and experience. It's great to see how you've adapted to handle those ups and downs. Thanks for sharing that analogy.
Next question? You're interviewing me? Fucking hell.
All right, let's shift gears. Can you tell us about a memorable win that stands out in your career?
First one that always comes to my head, and it's not a big win, it was an important win. It was shocking when Shocking won the Melbourne Cup. I backed him on the fucking Saturday in the lead up to the Tuesday. He won impressively there, the traditional lead up. He was well weighted into the Melbourne Cup. Corey Brown was on, he was fucking riding sensationally at that time in his career. The horse was perfectly placed, you know, he's a summer street cry, he's well trained, he was trained to perfection. The distaff side of the pedigree was right. That race has a great record for producing lightly raced horses on a quick backup, going 2,500 to 3,200 that can potentially win a Melbourne Cup and steal it. When it came to the, you go on. I'll add more after you talk.
It's fascinating how everything aligned for that race. What stood out the most for you in Shocking's performance?
Here's the thing, right? On the point of the turn, as he came into the race, and he's still on the bit, right, and gaps were starting to open up, you could just see Corey Brown was fucking giggling to himself. Like, the race was over at that point. I always, and this is a form analysis 101 point, I consistently talk about how important it is, how far out a horse has a race won, right? If a horse has a race won 200 from home, and it only wins by half a length, it's not a half length win, right? Some horses, like humans, they get a little bit in front in life and decide to coast. That's fucking me, right? Okay? Some horses are like that too. They're fucking champions, but they always only win by a nose or half a length or a quarter of a length. So that's why visual interpretation of races is really important. I know I'm switching subjects, but they relate to each other and weave into each other.
Absolutely, Nate. That visual interpretation really separates the greats from the rest. It's fascinating how you can spot those nuances.
I think look, a classic example, I need to come in again and then I'll answer your question, but I think a classic example of it that is so well found in Australian racing is a horse like One Road. No, probably Octagonal actually, his father, his side, right? Octagonal always only won by nose, or a very tight margin. You know, in a 3-year-old year of greats, you know, Falonte, nothing like a Dane. You know, it was a great year. Yeah, we've had a couple of better 3-year-old seasons since then. I think 2 years ago was an amazing 3-year-old year. But yeah, that was a classic year. So what Octagonal did that year and his will to win was amazing. Interesting thing, Octagonal's first foal, or the first horse that Octagonal served was Shadea, the dam of One Road, by the way.
That's a fascinating piece of history, Nate. Octagonal's legacy and will to win definitely left a mark. It's amazing how those traits carry on through generations. Thanks for sharing that insight.
What's next? Quiz me. Anything you want on racing. Anything. Betting. I don't care.
All right, Nate. Let's talk about betting strategies. What's one key strategy you think every punter should know and use? All right, Nate.
The ability, hold on. I'll answer it for you. The ability to frame a market, the ability to understand merit, the ability to have common sense, the ability to just common sense, framing markets, understanding merit. I think they're the first 3 top in my head. There's probably fucking 30, Seraphin, you know, like, let's be realistic. There's not one, there's probably 30. And then there's probably another 100 on the second level and another fucking 500 on the third level that all have their own nuances that you only get used to looking at the more you do it. It's like anything in life. The more you repeat it, the more time you spend doing it, the fucking better you get at it.
Absolutely, Nate. Experience and repetition are key. It's about building those layers of knowledge and skill over time. Thanks for sharing your insights. It's been great chatting with you.
One more question, Seraphin, I've got to go and do fucking form for this race coming up. It's going, so hurry up.
Sure, Nate. What's the one piece of advice you give to someone just starting in horse racing analysis?
So one piece of advice, there's probably 4 or 5 books I'd tell them to go and read first, then consume all my content. You asked me a similar question in part 1 of this interview. But yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 books you should go and read first. Then consume as much of my content as you can. Throw yourself fucking head deep into the game and don't give up and fucking trust yourself and understand your intelligence level. If you think you're fucking intelligent, but you got C's for maths at school, you're not fucking intelligent and you're not going to be great at this. If you got B's and A's for general maths at school, you can be good at punting. But if you didn't, you may as well drop out of a tree.
Thanks for sharing that, Nate. It's all about continuous learning and staying committed. Good luck with your form analysis. We'll chat again soon.
Thanks, Seraphin. Thanks, punters. That's part 2. Seraphin will be back after she's eaten her robot part 2 for part 3. Sign us out, Seraphin.
Thanks, Nate. Looking forward to part 3. Catch you later, punters.
Punters. Seraphin's back. She wants to interview me again. She's woke me up. Even though it's only 5 minutes ago. And she wants to do part 2. Seraphin, you go. Ask me whatever you want, Seraphin, about racing. Let's do part 2.
Hey, punters. All right, Nate, let's dive right in. What's the most crucial element in your form analysis that you think sets you apart from others?
We went through this last time. Don't fucking repeat. It's not fucking. This isn't an episode of fucking Groundhog Day, Seraphin.